there was this meme going around where you were having a conversation with Andrew Wiggins.
Mm-hmm.
It was very similar to the situation, I think, maybe his first year or the second year. Draymond and KD, and he's doing this to KD, and KD, like, I understand. Very similar meme with you and Andrew Wiggins. What were you telling Wiggins, and what were you trying to get him to understand what he wasn't doing as opposed to what he needed to do?
It was funny because he was doing the right thing. So what happened was Wiggs showed that he's one of the top defenders in this league in the playoffs.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
He had to guard Luka. He spent a little bit of time on Ja. And then he had to guard Jayson Tatum.
Yes.
Top three young. These are the new faces of the league coming up.
Correct.
So he had to guard, and he's still young. He's 27 years old.
Right.
So I remember one of our first games versus the Lakers early in the season. We played LeBron. Wiggs pulled me to the side and he said, "What's some tips on guarding LeBron?" I said, "Oh shit, he listening." This is the type of player I like.
Right.
A guy that asks me questions, that means he's listening.
Right.
And from there, me and Wiggs just built this great rapport. Like, that's my guy. And I always knew he was good, just may not have been in the right situation. So we in the finals, and whoever he's guarding, he's giving them problems. So obviously both teams scout. Boston is setting picks on him constantly. They trying to get him off Tatum.
Right.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to run sets, and we just going to hit Wiggins. We just trying to get a switch. We just need to get Wiggins off of Tatum.
Right.
And the first couple of games, he was getting through the screens. And then that particular game, that was game 3. We lost game 3. He was accepting the switch.
Right.
And I'm telling Wiggs, don't get hit by no more picks. And it's two-sided because Wiggs has 4 teammates on the court too that should be helping him not get hit.
Right.
And the communication
out
may not have been there like it should have been.
Right.
And I'm telling Wiggs, all right, we not it's not a two-way communication. It's one way. It's you and it's only you. Somebody set a pick, run through them or go around them. Don't accept switching. And it's a compliment to how good of a defensive player you are. That's what I was trying to get him to see. And I was just letting him know, I've been guarding everybody my whole career. Carmelo, Kobe, Bron, Joe Johnson was an amazing guy I had to guard. Paul Pierce. I'm in one game I guarded Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, KG. That's when I knew I was a great defender. And I was trying to get Wiggs to see that.
Right.
You know how I know you're a good defender? Because they keep setting picks on you because they don't want you guarding the best player.
Right.
Now you know who you are. Go kill him.
Right.
And that's exactly what he did. You watch the rest of the games. You didn't see him switch too much on picks or accept the switch. And he did what he had to do.
Do you think before he got to Golden State, he lacked confidence? I think you think about it. He was the number 1 pick in the draft, and he never played a game for the team that selected him number 1 overall. And then he gets shipped to Minnesota, and then Minnesota trades him for D'Angelo Russell.
Right.
And so, he's like, well, damn, I'm the number 1 pick in the draft, and I done got moved twice in like 3 years, 4 years.
I don't think he lost confidence. I just don't think he was in a situation that warranted confidence.
Okay.
When you're in certain organizations and the goal may not be to win a championship, the goal may be, let's try to win more games than we lose.
Right.
And let's try to make it look good.
Right.
It's really hard to play the right way. It's really hard to play team basketball. It's really hard to sacrifice because really all you're doing is trying to show face like, I got my 20 points tonight. I got 25 tonight. I did my job.
Right.
And that happens all across sports on, the bottom half of the teams. Guys are just trying to get their numbers to say it wasn't my fault.
Right.
So it's just, you just get caught up in bad habits of a bad organization.
Right.
Not to call them a bad organization, it's just not winning ways.
Right.
And you just continually get criticized in terms of how you're playing the game.
Right.
And then he gets to a situation where, I'm playing to win. So I don't have to get 25. He averaged 18 this year, but it was a great 18. Shot the highest percentage he had from the 3-point line.
The All-Star game.
Started the All-Star game. It was amazing for us. And then he was our second best player in the playoffs. Period.
Correct.
Like he was our second best player, and that says a lot. From we got Steph, we got Draymond, we got Clay. Those guys have been running the league for the last 8 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for him to come in and do that, the talent was always there. He's just never been in a position to really play with real confidence and play real basketball.
They're totally different players, and I don't want people to misconstrue this where I'm saying that Andrew Wiggins is better than Kevin Durant. I'm not saying. But why do you think he was such an adequate replacement for Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I do think they're different, and I think we have it's a different type of team, especially with our young talent. Like with a guy like Jordan Poole,
yeah,
we didn't have that explosive score off the bench because we had KD.
Right.
Like we didn't have an exploit. Like it was myself, Sean Livingston, Barbosa, and Maurice Spates was there early.
Right.
But we had good depth off the bench,
Right.
but it was more like players who did specific things, where you just stood there and spot up and shot the ball, or you played defense, you were a smart player. We
Who
didn't have
can go get 30?
Who can go? You saw it. Who go get 33, 4, 5 games in a row. And with KD, we didn't need none of that. Just
Right.
get KD the ball, move out the way if we needed the bucket. Well, with Wiggs, I feel like it's a little different because of having Jordan Poole, having Klay come back, and you know, Klay's gonna get his attempts. What do you say? I ain't sacrificing for nobody. But I thought Wiggs was just really good at being able to. What he did better than he's ever done in his career is rebound the ball the way he did.
Right.
Like, he just did the podcast with me, and he said, I'll never average 4 rebounds for the rest of my career. He was attacking the glass, you know what I'm saying? He's finally started getting to the line, wasn't afraid of the line. So he was picking up on the intangibles. Wiggs was always a guy who would just go get you 24 points a game. But he might have 3 rebounds,
Right.
might have 1 assist. So it was empty stats because he was in a bad situation
Right.
in terms of winning. But he came into a winning situation and he started doing all the little intangible things, and it just meshed so well with our team because of what else we had around him.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we do something before 2 something.